Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 20 of my Kingdom of France campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4 Moereich. So today is going to be a bit of a, well, I don't want to say it's a setup episode because there's going to be a lot of warfare going on here, but what we're fundamentally trying to do here is we are trying to secure Scandinavia while we set ourselves up to begin rebuilding our legitimacy in the mainland continent. So what it's probably going to happen, I'm thinking, maybe it'll go a little faster, but what's probably going to happen is we'll take Scandinavia today, and then we will, in today's episode, and the one that'll also hopefully be coming out tomorrow, we will be just trying to recore everything, because like these are still occupied states for us, so we're not getting anything from them really. But we're going to build up that industrial base so we can start preparing for the invasion of the Union of Britain. I'm probably not going to commit any troops personally to it. I'll try to start building up an air force to help with that, but I don't really trust Canada right now, and I'm sure that there's swarms and swarms of divisions over here, meaning trusting Canada to back me up or put themselves in a good position where I can back them up. The fact of the matter is I still only have 17 divisions in my army. I'm not exactly the powerhouse of the Entente. Oi, peace conference where? What's happening? Between Nationalist Chile and Legionnaire Italy. Oh, there was the coup! There's the coup, so that's, well, that's one way to get him out of get rid of this section of the Third International. Bartolomé Guillermo Blanche Espejo is now in charge. Cool picture. But what's going on over here? After the defeat of Napoleon III in the Franco-Prussian War, there was an explosion of esoteric societies in France. This occultist milieu produced various new religions and philosophical currents, claiming ancient lineages and hidden knowledge, supposedly handed down by cabals of masons, magicians, and alchemists. From this milieu emerged the first academic studies of Oriental religion and metaphysical systems. However, following the defeat, this nascent community of occultists and Orientalists has broken in two with violent embrace or rejection of the new socialist regime. René Guignon is firmly in the camp of anti-syndicalists, having followed the government in exile, written anti-materialist tracts, and published The Crisis of the Modern World, in which he rejects the concept of progress in favor of Hindu cyclical time. However, he is equally highly controversial even within the far right, arguing in favor of ultra-monetism on the basis of the supremacy of the Brahmin over the Kshatriya, and having recently converted to Sufi Islam and exited his Messianic lodge. His most recent book, quote, Oriental Metaphysics, unquote, is a detailed exploration of Oriental metaphysical systems, drawing links between Catholicism and Eastern religions and sharing a primordial tradition. It has been embraced by certain parts of the far right who, I just realized I don't have the Arabic music playing. The Arabian music, give me a second here. Arabian fantasy. Von Ziegler. There we go. Get this. Turn that down a bit. Shuffle and loop. Okay. Primordial tradition. It has been embraced by certain parts of the far right who see these systems as a way to escape the liberal worldview of their recent past in favor of a traditionalist system free of the evils of progress. Others, however, have rejected it violently, seeing it as the resurrection of Gnosticism within the Christian vanguard, with some wishing it to be banned. The book has caused significant controversy and lively debate, particularly between Guignon and Catholic neo-Thomist philosopher Jacques Maritain, getting a surprising amount of success with even relatively mainstream audiences. Calls for a ban of the book have risen from clergy and conservative Catholics, while others argue it could be helpful in evangelization or control of the natives. We can ban it. We don't need the Eastern wisdom, or we can allow the publication under the watchful eyes, of course. I don't know. Let's allow it. Like I said, I'm just so used to not having stability all the time. It means nothing to me when I don't have stability anymore. I don't care. Hey, Spain, what are you doing? They couldn't even get to the Spanish. You can't just commit to fixing one or the other. Ah! Freaking Javier, why did I even bother finishing that war so quickly? What are you doing? Right, loyalty to America. Okay. Whoa, whoa, what happened here? Okay, cool. Some supplies coming in now. Okay. Come on, keep advancing now. The Italy thing is gone. I guess because the kingdom got officially established, so there's no more socialist Italy. I don't have to worry about delegitimizing the area. They have these as cores now, right? No, it's still an occupied state. Well, shit. Oh, they have Piedmont, at least. More buildings are being sabotaged. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, we gotta get working on that legitimacy ASAP. Okay, so we can now rebuild legitimacy, so we have now a new reconquest. This is important. After 2 decades, the fires of revolution have finally been extinguished and France is once again at peace. However, our people remain deeply divided. Some welcome us as liberators, others lament the fall of the Commune, and most are simply in shock, exhausted by the war, their lives deeply upended for the second time in a generation. We have reconquered the metropole, and will now be in an immense effort to conquer the hearts and minds of our countrymen. Fully coring the metropole will remove the lingering communard-influenced national spirit. To fully secure our hold back over the metropole, we must rebuild our image in the eyes of the people who have seen us depicted as demons for the last 20 years. A Reconstruction Commission must be organized, and each state in the metropole can be reintegrated back into France once they reach more than 80% compliance and less than 10% resistance. So I just do this, view non-reintegrated areas, basically everything. So we have stuff like here, relief efforts. Let's see here. Our first priority must be relief. France has been devastated by war and our people are suffering. Their homes are sometimes ruined. Families have been torn apart by war and many struggle to access even basic necessities. Not only is it our duty to care for and protect our countrymen, but such a relief effort will no doubt start to break down communal propaganda that has depicted us as monsters for the last decades. So when I do this, all of France will get compliance gain, but it's going to hurt me in terms of war support and political power. We've also got here desyndicalization efforts. The immediate concerns of our people have begun to be answered. It's now time to embark on a long and arduous journey, desyndicalization. In less than 20 years, immense damage has been done by the communards. Their ideology has deeply tainted every aspect of French society, from social structures in the economy to education and the armed forces. Of course, it is impossible to erase the past, and some things will never be undone. As such, we will keep the good, tear down the bad, bring justice to those who deserve it, and ensure that never again our people are tempted by syndicalism. First on the list is ensuring that our people know the full truth about the ideology that was forced on them. So, boy, these are both going to hurt because of the daily political power gain loss, but also this one hurts stability too. So we could do things like allocating resources into the integration of Paris. So like if I did that, what exactly does that do? Focus on decreasing resistance or increasing long-term compliance. So it's the largest city in France and former capital of the Commune of France. Paris will need some special effort to be integrated back into the new regime. Washing off syndicalist influence has to be a deep and thorough work. As a part of this effort, where should we direct our resources? We can either focus on lowering the unrest or making longer-term work to win the hearts of the people. Let's focus on decreasing resistance. Let's do that for all of these areas, actually. So, yeah, these all fundamentally say the same thing. Yeah, decrease resistance, decrease resistance, decrease resistance, decrease resistance. So this is gonna suck, but we just gotta get to it. Oh, I can't do both at the same time, so we're gonna do relief efforts then, rather than the desyndicalization ones. That kind of sucks. Now, having clicked all of that stuff, alright, it does look like resistance is going down basically everywhere except up here by Lille. I think we could fix that by... pull this one. This guy's 170 days, or she, yeah, Philippe is 107 days from getting that fixed. You know what? This is the high priority at the moment. We've got to be reducing that. Yeah. Gotta get it done. And I'm sorry, but this person's gonna get executed. That's just how it is. Alright, next up. Endear the population. This will lower resistance to our rule in the metropole. Now is not the time for closed fist. So we got the trials here. I don't know what these events do and stuff. I guess this doesn't seriously matter which we do. So let's endear the population. Now's the time, not the time for a closed fist, but an open hand towards our reunited brothers. This is fitting because this song is called A Red Sun Sets. So the Commune sun is setting on France, and the beautiful, glorious dawn of royalism is rising once more. We will engage in a wide-scale relief effort to make sure our people know that we are here as liberators of the French nation, not conquerors. Good. Yeah, so the resistance, and actually let's look at the compliance. Yeah, compliance is what's going to really take a long time, I think. Funnily enough, the Romandie, it looks like to be the most compliant area in the country at the moment. Yeah, we'll keep using local police forces for now. Oi, 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 what's this? This garrison log. Yeah, you see, the manpower loss just is going to chip away, and the equipment loss too. It's really freaking annoying. So yeah, in the last year, we've lost 25,000 manpower to resistance. Okay. Request some garrison support again. I'm sure we got plenty of that. And, okay, we have some insufficient resources here. Let's get that steel. How do I not have steel as France? I know it's because I don't really have these areas integrated, and also because a lot of the steel's in Alsace-Lorraine, but still, quite annoying. Alright, what am I having the hardest time with right now? It's going to take 305. This is going to take 206. I think I'm still going to lean into the support equipment, though. Okay. Alright, now, what's going on up here? What is this red? Union of Britain, what? Oh, this is just a mess. How I tore my dress, what a mess. Forgot to do this ages ago. Okay. Okay, we're gonna grab that. Oh, Portugal with the freaking naval invasion. Interesting. Okay, so we got to go kill these cavalry units here real quick so we can get supply, because they're not going to be able to push into Narvik on their own there. It's the Portuguese, and they're supported by some Indian troops as well. That's fun. How close is she to getting some of these different traits? Only 56% of the way towards being an organizer. The hidden ones. Persecuted, forbidden from publicly displaying what they held most dear, relentlessly mocked, the faithful, those who quietly resisted despite the open hostility of the communards are coming out of hiding. For years, open expression of the faith was forbidden. Bishops were run out of the country. Some churches were seized. Homilies were monitored. In the sledge of our victorious army, some dared to join their forces' open-air masses. Priests who had gone into hiding reclaimed their parishes. While some still skittish, perhaps fearing a red counteroffensive, only discreetly brought flowers to the few roadside shrines which had managed to escape the purge of religious expression from public space. With the fratricide conflict coming to an end, the once silent bells rang all over the nation. Great processions were organized to purify towns and villages from the stain left by both atheistic anti-clericalism and the orgy of violence. Crosses were put back up. Long lines formed at the confessional. Pews filled up. Pilgrimage sites teemed with life as survivors came to bring their thanks to whichever saint they prayed to for protection in battle, or as bombs fell indiscriminately. Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal, of Lourdes, of La Salte, Saint Therese, Saint Genevieve, Saint Jean d'Arc, all had their new devotees. The communards had attempted to stamp out the opium of the people. Clearly, this was not as successful as they hoped. Indeed, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. Te Deum. So everybody gets a little more compliance. Very nice. Hold on a second. I need to refill my water. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm already back. Alright, let's keep doing this. So we're going to be spending a lot of time looking at this screen here. Actually, is there a way that I could just do it here? Resource compliance. Okay, cool. So it's F7, F6. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so F6 for resistance, F7 for compliance. So we're going to be looking at these particular ones a whole lot. Informants. Following modifiers will apply while the modifier is active. Enemy operative detection chance offset. Oh, that's the Romandie thing, but whatever. Let's keep working on this Scandinavian front, shall we? Which is going pretty well. The Portuguese are actually running out ahead of me now. I'm suffering from a little bit of attrition up here in the icy north, but We've got to get supplies to them. So I know this looks like a continuous area here, but that's actually Sweden. Rise of Senussi activity. More factories available? Oh, I don't know. Motorized equipment, maybe? No, that's fine. The light tanks, I'm a little behind on, but it could be worse. Inch more medium tanks, maybe. Oh, but now I gotta trade away 2 factories. Whatever, I'll live with it. It's fine. What is all this? Focusing on the resistance. Right. Do I want to do the war propaganda to offset the... Yeah, you know, because I think it does increase the base, so that we'll do this to offset the relief effort war support thing, or I might have just wasted 50 political power. So tough to tell. Oh, Sao Paulo finally fell. Boy, that lasted a while, didn't it? What the heck was the Socialist Republic of Argentina doing? Just standing around. They never formed the new constitution. I don't know what they're doing. Just wasting time. Oh, shoot! Azerbaijan! Creating greater Azerbaijan! Oh, man. Azerbaijan saying we're on our way to Baluchistan, which is proper Azerbaijani clay. Whew. Have they still not taken Bergen down here? Insane! Let's get one of you here. Get working on that. No. You come south like this. Get no more Lend-Lease from... Wait, we're having issues in Nancy. Everyone knew her as Nancy. Everything's still trending down, though, it looks like. Yeah, even though a million buildings are getting freaking sabotaged. Ugh. I can't seem to actually break through here. It's becoming a problem. I don't want all these troops to die, although, wow, it looks like they actually might take Narvik without extra supplies. Or are they? Oh, yeah, they did! Wow! Oh my gosh, good for them. Alright, so now we don't have to push so hard because those guys are going to starve to death anyway. So, there you have it. Dang. We're going into the summer, too. The weather's only getting better out here in Russia. What the hell is Japan up to? Is Japan still at war with all of China? Yeah, it looks like they pulled off a naval invasion here south of Tianjin, but overall not great position. It's a grindy stalemate. Kind of worse than my position, though. Me, at least, you know, with Entente, we're making plays, we're making deals, we're getting... All right, Museum of Man today opened in Algiers. The museum. Oh, nice. Portugal's going to take Iceland. Today opened in Algiers, the Museum of Man, a museum reuniting collections related to man's evolution, man's biological unity and variety, and man's cultural and social diversity. Showcasing various objects such as prehistoric artifacts, numerous examples of both French and indigenous crafts and artistry, and photographs documenting the way of life of the various people living in the French Empire. Much of its collection are recent acquisitions. Indeed, the government funded extensive ethnographic expeditions in our present and former colonial possessions in an effort to consolidate our hold on outlying territories. The 1931 Dakar Djibouti mission alone, for example, made up of linguists, ethnographers, naturalists, painters, photographers, and even a museologist, brought back more than 3,000 objects, 6,000 photographs, 1,600 meters of photographic film, and 1,500 pages of notes documenting inevitable information on a rapidly disappearing way of life. Though there has been criticism over the manner of acquisition of its collections, some radical newspapers even going as far as making accusations of racket, the opening ceremony of the museum was a success, attended by the mayor of Algiers, the minister of the colonies, and thousands of curious Algérois, Petit Noirs, and Indigenés alike. It's not stealing if it's for science, right? And we get political power but lose stability. Story of my life in this campaign. That's a lot of photographs. I was actually seeing a thing, so I was recently at a library and flipping through these, just kind of perusing through these books. and I was in like the kind of coffee table book area, I guess you could say. It was just like a lot of stuff with photographs and stuff. And so I picked up this one, and basically the photographer, he was like an official White House photographer for the Obama presidency, and it was saying on the cover, the kind of wish I had checked it out now so I could flip through some of more details, but like the cover of it said that over the course of his 8 years, because I guess he was the official photographer for the White House, not just like a journalist photographer. There you go. This is the Sao Paulo thing. He took about 1 million pictures. So, like, let's do the math on that real quick. And yes, I know there's leap years, but shut up. I'm actually going to pull up my calculator to make sure I do this right. But I think that's like almost 350 pictures a day. Because if you take 1 million pictures, right, and then divide that by 8, one for every year, that's taking 125,000 pictures a year, which you then divide by 365 days each. Yeah, that's 342.4 pictures that guy took every day. And I was just thinking, this book ain't 1 million pages long, so it's just one of those things that, like, when you're a professional photographer, it's like you have to take that many just to get that sweet shot. Like, I remember I had an uncle who I don't remember what the context of it was, but he was talking about how he once had to drive around a guy who was working for National Geographic magazine. And the guy was just taking pictures, just like click, 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 nonstop, just click, 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 all day. And then at the end of the day, he was talking to the guy who was driving him back to wherever he was staying. And he said, "So you took all those pictures. How many are going to get used in the magazine?" And he goes, "If I'm lucky, 2." See what you gotta. That's the standard, I guess. The leaders of the revolutionary rabble must be on trial for their treason. Oh boy, time to come down hard on them all over again. Because remember, I did a total Republican purge before, which has helped with my daily political power game, which is why I now have this fat 442 to sit on while I work on dealing with all this resistance. Oh, we can send in the army again. Let's definitely do that. Gotta get that stability up whenever I can, because I'm mostly just bringing it down. Man, what an ugly Scandinavian front. Let's see, and Finland's not part of this, right? I think we might just leave it to the Indians and the Portuguese to just take this last little part up top, and then in the meantime start figuring out what exactly it is we're gonna do down here. On the other hand, if we leave it to them, it might end up taking forever. So let's actually come up here. Gotta come all the way up here to Finnmark. Oh, le procès, Gamelin, Tagin, Billet, Macno, Catra, Delestran. The names of the defendants echoed in the halls of the military. Oh, I guess we're starting this now because we're doing the trials. In the halls of the high military court, specially assembled to pass judgment on the officers of the Commune. Many of them had served in the French armed forces, joining the mutineers out of conviction or self-interest. Others were foreigners who sought to serve the cause of the revolution. Many are present stoic or dazed or crying hysterically. Some are still in hiding, some fled, and will have to be condemned in absentia. Each case is carefully examined by a court of officers, and the defendant is charged with treason, mutiny, desertion, conspiracy against France, sometimes other accusations, and the verdict falls inevitably guilty, guilty, guilty. One question remains: how to sentence the guilty. The typical sentence for military traitors is death by firing squad. However, even among our own military, there are calls for leniency on some of these officers, as they had contacted our intelligence services during or even before the war, hoping to switch sides, arguing they had simply been thrust into serving a cause they did not believe in. Others argue that conflicts in the future are likely, and that France cannot sacrifice talented officers. So, I don't know, like if we said mercy for traitors, imprison, make examples of the diehards. So would that mean that we're going to get to keep, like, Gemelin or something? I'm actually going to make a pause here so I can make a save file, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it worked. I think it would tell me if I got to keep them. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So I'll check that out on my own time. So anyway, we're gonna say, so if we desyndicalize some, imprison the majority, make examples of the diehards, that costs us a lot of political power, and we lose some stability, but we get more army experience. So I guess that's how it's showing that we claim them back. But no, for role-playing purposes, mercy for traitors, amir. So that hurts stability again, but we gain political power again, and we also lose 200 manpower. I guess those are the 200 officers that get killed in total. Yeah, speaking of which, 41 days. Yeah, we got more than 100 army experience, though. We'll be okay in terms of, when our next land doctrine research time comes. Okay. So, let's see, if we look at the Navy situation, I guess we can't really tell who's in charge where, but if we look at this, that's England sending a couple of submarines. These are a lot of planes. We're going to need to start working on getting that air superiority. Call to arms request regarding what? Yeah, sure. Let's just get involved in all the wars. There, now we're at war with Iceland. Proper. Dress rehearsal for England, boys! You gotta do this right. Oh, the Spanish are doing the naval invasion up there. How quaint. 63 days. The infantry equipment is 184 days. Really, neither of these are good, but I still want to prioritize a bit more of the support equipment. Okay, here we go. Le process, le cadre. Hold on. We're going to keep allocating some more resources here. F6, how's that going? You know, let's actually do the compliance this time. We are going to have to get over 80 eventually. It could take a little while. Across France are taking place an untold number of more or less formal trials, with courts quickly assembled by loyalists to pass judgment on local cadres of the syndicalist apparatus. From militia officers to chairmen of the Commune, consuls are simply known true believers in the socialist cause. Our occupying forces have turned a blind eye, to these barely legitimate courts when they don't outright supply the guns to shoot the traitors. Simply put, our reconquered people are tearing each other apart, blowing up in anger, for they finally see the Reds for what they truly are. Enemies of France who led them all to their collective downfall. However, these trials may have gone somewhat out of control, with unsavory reports coming in of cruel punishments or settling of personal vendettas by the simple accusation of being a committed socialist. Furthermore, the more legalistic among us argue that this usurpation of state authority cannot be tolerated. What should be done? So we could lose 10,000 manpower over this, but may this rightful anger consume the remnants of the Commune. Worth it. Kind of want to go after the Swiss state. We could take them, I'm sure. But I also don't want to distract the Entente from other matters. Yeah, I do have those heavy fighter research bonuses. How bad is the discrepancy in production cost? Oh, it's virtually the same. But I don't need the long range, and fighters are just straight up better. Let's do this. What is this? The question of Montmartre. Montmartre. Paris, the most beautiful city on earth. Which, by the way, and I think I've mentioned this before, but you know, if you click on certain cities, I think they might have gotten this from Equestrian War. You can see how there's differences there. So like you can come here. Oops, no, that's not Paris yet. It's there. Oh, there's that lingering communard resistance. Anyway, the most beautiful city on earth has been freed from the grasps of the communard. Under their rule, she had often been monitored, defaced by radical avant-garde architecture and urban planning. Many buildings had been damaged during the revolution, and now the war has brought more destruction. As such, plans for the restoration of the City of Lights to a pre-revolutionary beauty have been hastily thrown together. As we discover the damage for the first time, however, one question remains. What should be done with Montmartre? The hill towering above Paris has a rich history. Starting point of the 1871 Commune, later on a romantic village within the city. And most importantly, where an immense Neo-Byzantine basilica, the Sacré-Cœur, was being built, funded by donations from all over France. Close to completion when the revolution broke out, the basilica was never consecrated and was the site of a last holdout of loyalist forces. Damaged by the fighting, the building was gleefully torn down by the communards, who saw it as a reactionary symbol, as it was built to expiate crimes of the original Commune of Paris. In its stead, they built a modernist palace of the Pope, where their attempt at government met. We have received multiple proposals for the future of Moereich, which should be done. We could destroy the palace and rebuild the sacred collier. We could destroy the palace and build an immense memorial for the victims of the revolution. Or keep the palace, but turn it into a permanent exhibit on the folly of syndicalism. I think rebuilding the basilica is best. It's going to hurt my stability. A little more popularity, though. What am I up to now? In the 60s? Yeah. The totalists and the rest of this lingering influence, they're up to like 1% each now. It's a problem! Am I gonna have any civilian factories left in this fucking country by the time all these saboteurs are done? There we go. Oh, do I have a new operative? Oh, nice. Linguist. Linguist could be fun. Yeah, let's just go with that. But let's also use her for... Do I need her to root out resistance, or should I go back to building that intel network? Do that. Okay, we could do de-syndicalization efforts. This is one that's going to start hurting my stability, but it's also going to negate the effects of the frickin' lingering influence in terms of party popularity. Yeah, it is trending down, so... This might take a while. We might not get this done till like 42. Well, Poland wants to help us. Thank you, Poland. You and your large personalities. Alright. I think the trials are over now. Time to get the returning exiles. Oh, no. One more. Le procès, the leaders. For weeks now, dozens of high-profile communards have been on trial in front of the High Court of Justice, assembled at the Palace of Justice in the capital. These men and women are all facing a litany of accusations: treason, sedition, conspiracy against France, corruption. Enumerated by the prosecutor, resonating in the high halls, the numerous audience inside and outside the courthouse, staying deathly silent, the building surrounded by military forces to prevent any risk of last-ditch efforts to rescue these traitors. Their names sound familiar to our people, keenly informed these last few years of their numerous crimes against France during and since the Revolution. Fourier, Pivert, Thorez, Jahau, Blum, Laval, Sartre, and many, many others. They have been given ample time to prepare their defense, some doing so admirably, others going so far as testifying against each other, in hopes of reducing their sentence, or on the contrary, choosing to remain entirely silent. Most of them have been found guilty of the crimes they were accused of. What should their sentence be? Death is the expected sentence, but this would certainly create martyrs. On the other hand, a lighter sentence could seem like a show of weakness to our supporters in convincing our people that any of these Reds deserve mercy when they refuse to show any to anyone standing in the way of their crazed revolution. Could prove difficult. Yeah. Madame Guillotine in her unquenchable thirst awaits. Can I request some Lend-Lease from them? Will they give it to me? I doubt it. Yeah, they're not good. Insufficient equipment, or we have too much. Yeah, I figured. That was worth a try. That would have been funny, though. Okay. Whoa. What was that? Yeah, there we go. Let's keep trying to get that support equipment fixed up. Just still isn't done yet. It's still too ahead of time there. It's too far ahead of time. Maybe I should start getting ready on these nukes. No. No, we need air doctrine. Yeah. We're getting our Air Force started late, but it's gonna be something. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I'm Conquering History Games, and yeah, we basically have wrapped things up here in Scandinavia. I guess we'll do the last little bit of it later. But, you know, we're making good progress already, trending in a positive direction in the Kingdom of France. So then once this is done, I don't know, maybe we should... I don't know if I want to help them take Iceland or just start building up my Air Force, military, etc. There's only so much I'm going to be able to do without the coring. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something or other to do. Freaking Venezuela still hanging on. What a pain in the ass! Anyway, see you guys next time. I'm Conquering History Games. Bye.